Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Hey, everybody, it's Cindy here. Happy Friday to you. I am sure you heard recently that Rosalynn Carter died. She was former President Jimmy Carter's wife. And she was 96 years old, I think, had, lived a good long life, right? But I did some reading about her after the fact because I was a fan of hers about how she was a pioneer for and a real champion for people with mental illnesses. She really brought a lot of awareness to mental illness as, an important kind of problem, an important kind of illness that we need to give regard to and have policy around and understand better and drop the stigmatization of, and all of that. She did all this work around that. So I've always really loved and appreciated that she took that on as one of her big movements in her life and in politics and in her volunteerism and everything else. So thank you, Rosalynn Carter, for that. But she did so many more other things. Of course, she and Jimmy, after the presidency was over, created the Carter Center, which is a nonprofit organization that does work worldwide to wage peace, eliminate disease, and help create new democratic governments, voting, things like that. And they've done just so much. It's just unbelievable. So no matter what our political leanings might be, there's no argument for the fact that the Carters together have made a profoundly positive difference in the world on so many different levels. And so there's a couple things that I read that she said that I just wanted to highlight today and inspire you, hopefully, like it inspired me. Another big subject that she championed was caregivers. She started an organization and did all this work around supporting caregivers, so people taking care of their elderly parents, for example. And last I heard, there were 40 million caregivers in the United States alone. But she said there are 4 kinds of people. She said there are people who have been caregivers, people who are currently caregivers, people who will be caregivers, and people who will need a caregiver. So 4 kinds of people. So caregiving, in other words, from her perspective, is something that will touch all of our lives, or have touched all of our lives, and maybe in many different ways. And I thought about that because I have clients who are caregivers, I have friends who are caregivers, and we've all done some level of caregiving, right, over the years. But it's just so important to remember that if you are a caregiver, that it's important to give care to yourself as you're giving care to others, and do your best to keep your balance. The other thing that she said that just, for some reason, this just choked me up when I read it. She said she was asked at one point how she'd like to be remembered. And she said, I would like for people to think that I took advantage of the opportunities I had and did the best I could. I would like for people to think that I took advantage of the opportunities I had and did the best I could. And I thought, oh, I mean, that just made me weep when I first read it. And I don't know I'm not sure what all nerves were touched in me about that, but I do know that I agree with her that it's so important that we use our lives, whatever our lives are, that we use our lives and do the best we can to make a difference while we're here, to make a positive impact on the world. That whatever you've got, whatever your skills are, whatever your qualities are, whatever your personality is, whatever, things you're drawn to, how can you use your life to make it life better for some other people? Maybe it is through caregiving. Maybe that is the main way, and that's fantastic. Maybe you have a technical skill that can really serve an organization or people in their homes or whatever. Maybe you are just so generous and kind that you're always thinking about a way that you can do something that it seems small that's huge for someone who's in need. I mean, I just want you to feel inspired today to go into this weekend and think, gosh, how can I use my life, whatever it is right now, how can I use it to make a difference? Because I know you can. I know you can. No matter what you've got going on, you've got something that can be of use to other people, even if it's your own family, even if it's people right under the same roof as you, your neighbors, or whatever. And the thing is that when we extend ourselves, when we are using our lives for the best, the greater good of all, it feels so good inside. It really does. I know whenever I'm thinking of others and I do something, whatever it might be, it feels so good to be able to, and it doesn't have to be like decades and decades of worldwide travel and sacrifice like Rosalynn Carter. It can just be something very, very, very simple. Give somebody a ride to church. Go pick up some cold medicine. If your neighbor's got a cold and they can't get out or has COVID and they can't go anywhere, but they need some relief for some symptoms or something, or they need some food brought to them, leave it on their doorstep. Or, just call up that person that keeps entering your mind, whatever it is. Please, let's be like Rosalynn Carter in that we want to take advantage of who we are, what we have, what our opportunities are, and do the best we can. That's all we can ask of ourselves or anybody else. So thank you, Rosalynn Carter, and thank you to all you caregivers out there who are loving on people in a very particularly intense way right now. Don't forget to take care of yourself in the process, and I will talk to you all again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.